This is Apurva Davalbhakta. I work closely with the BPM and process automation team at Quadrant Knowledge Solutions. Have been around for almost 4 years. We have with us Sophia today as well. So interesting fact is that Sophia and I both have been tracking the BPM and process automation domain and relevant studies for multiple years now. Sophia holds a special subject matter expertise in a topic like digital twin of organizations. She has been tracking that market actively, and she is also the chief analyst for that particular study for multiple years now. Me, on the other hand, I have been working on various studies like RPA, process mining, and whatnot, right? So, although we have been working closely for multiple years, we also had been tracking markets such as DTO, process mining, and whatnot. And it was very evident for us as analysts that there was a significant overlapping between both these markets or both these studies. If you talk about the perspective as a research analyst, we also realized a couple of other very interesting things which were not very obvious. Case in point being, whenever we interacted with end users, we often found that they were getting confused, not just about their requirements, but more importantly about which tool or which product or which technology to go for, whether it was DTO or process mining. What was their requirements? Which offering would fulfill their actual needs, right? And obviously, in the last 4 years, the entire BPM and process automation market has shifted significantly, and so has DTO and process mining. So we couldn't resist ourselves, and that is the reason that we decided to share certain views from our side. Uh, so that was just a brief about why we are having this conversation. And as I mentioned, Sophia obviously is here with us. Uh, Multiple vendors, multiple end users. When we interacted, we realized that uh, for examples, vendors like IBM or it could be SAP Signavio, since the last 4 or 5 years already, they have been providing amalgamated or offerings which have within them DTO and process mining, right? But there are many other vendors who are standalone players, who are niche players, who still look at the market differently. So what is this entire cluster all about, right? So let's just find out. And it's going to be a series, obviously. So we are just going to touch the tip of the iceberg, and then there would be more videos after that. So I think, Sophia, I've set the context, and over to you.
Thank you, Apurva, for this wonderful introduction and a brief about the topic that we are going to discuss into our this series, upcoming series, and also what we are going to discuss today. So, as you have mentioned, that process mining and digital twin of an organization are like being an integrated part of each other. They are being utilized by various of the end users combiningly and with the help of process mining, the end users are able to create their digital twin of an organizations. And as we know, and as we are researching and we are talking to various end users, vendors, we look into this trend of digital transformation that has been happening into like almost every industry vertical, be it manufacturing, be it BFSI, be it healthcare, any industry, they all are moving toward digital transformation. So they are just moving their traditional way of working or mapping their business or operating model uh, in a traditional way towards more digital and dynamic way. They are moving toward a cloud. They are moving and adopting various kinds of application to automate their process, to automate their operations, daily workflow, task, and all those things. So yes, we have seen, as you have also already mentioned, that we are talking to end users and they are very confused, and they don't have a effective, or they can't differentiate between a process mining and DTO, because they don't see it as an analyst or as a subject matter expert, but they see it as an end user. What benefit it is providing to their organizations, what value it is providing to their businesses, they see it in that manner. So being an analyst, as you were researching into process mining, RPA, you know that how valuable or effective process automation in current market is, right? So end users look toward gaining value from these kind of technologies, and hence they are moving towards digital transformation and adopting this kind of techs into their organization enterprises. So this is how they are adopting these kind of technologies. So when we talk about when we talk about digital twin of an organization, it was basically evolved from digital twin, which was previously utilized into manufacturing engineering kind of background, but now it has been evolved from those just creating a visual representation of products or machinery to creating visual representation of people, processes, applications, connections within their enterprise. So the scope has been broadened from previous times to recent times. And digital twin has it has broader scope in coming future as well. It won't be limited into this stage. It is being currently right now. It will going to broaden their scope. It will going to broaden the use cases whatever they are offering within their platform. So what I feel as an analyst and researching on this topic from like past 3 years, I feel that process mining is a very value added, or we can say a entry point for a digital twin of an organization, or to create a DTO. Without a process mining software or without a process mining concept, a digital twin cannot be created in coming in recent industries where digital transformation is taking place, because we are not working manually right now. We are working on technologies, and process is very important. Mapping those process, modeling those process, creating creating steps or workflow, like we understand BPM and BPM and model with business process management technologies. So all those kind of thing is being a very important part into today's world and today's businesses that is being uh, operating into digital spaces and digital applications. So this was my thought around this. What do you think about this, Apurva? And like, how do you define process mining? Do you think that process mining and DTO can combinedly work, or you think that this should be a standalone tool? What is your opinion around this?
I think those were some great thoughts around DTO, and I think I really like how you talked about DTO and tried to show us a very strong relation with process mining. Let me go through the reverse way now and just take you guys through or take the viewers through exactly how process mining and DTO are so closely knit, right? In real few words, I'll just try to explain what we define as process mining. I'll not obviously go through the definition, but at Quadrant Knowledge Solutions, what we feel is process mining. It helps organizations for automating, identifying, analyzing, and monitoring events. It could be logs, it could be real-time systems data. And what it ultimately, the aim for doing this is that to enhance the end-to-end operational business processes, right? So that was just a crux about how we look at process mining, right? So taking this forward, uh, some of the some of the very obvious use cases for process mining would be customer journey optimization, uh, precise customer operational excellence, or IT platform transformation, and audit and compliance and whatnot, right? uh, I mean, where all the value addition from process mining is happening, I think just to give you some example, it would be comparing the actual processes with the process design, or something like discovering what the processes look like, monitoring the KPIs wherever possible. These are some of the obvious value additions, right? Now comes the actual meaty part, right? So process mining, what it does is, if you look at it like a graph, right? A graph of an entire organizational process starting from zero to the maximum limit, right? What is very obvious is that process mining is not an isolated event, but it is an ongoing event that happens from the start of the journey of, or the start of the process for any organization, and it encompasses the throughout organization, right? So just to put things into perspective, it could be like it starts from the process for processes, say for modeling the processes. It further goes forward into improving and redesigning the processes. Further, process performance indicators are established and process performance indicators are understood and analyzed. Ultimately, all these things are leading. towards efficient business process management, right? And if business process management is achieved, what happens is actually operational excellence is achieved. If operational excellence is achieved, ultimately an enterprise level digital transformation can be achieved. And this is exactly the terminology, I think, Sophia, which you shared with us previously. So digital transformation, right? Enough is talked about it, but still enough is not talked about it, because digital transformation is the ultimate aim for any enterprise or any organization. And if that is the key, then obviously we can say with certainty that, process mining is actually promoting the digital twin of an organization cause. I'll just look at it from a slightly different angle. A study like intelligent document processing, which falls in BPM and process automation again, right? It's a well documented fact that IDP, yes, it's a standalone concept, but it also falls under a concept like robotic process automation. Similarly, a concept like computer vision is an isolated concept. There are enough research studies on computer vision, but again, it falls in IDP. So ultimately, in the technology market, it's a very obvious given data that consolidation of the technologies start happening, because the use cases, they are also drilled down, but a broader use case on an enterprise level also needs to be achieved. And that is exactly what is happening here as well. So I feel, to be very crude about it, if DTO is the umbrella concept, if the digital transformation of the enterprise is what anyone wants to achieve, then DTO is the way to go, obviously. But for that, process mining can be an extremely strong enabler, because all throughout the process management journey, process mining will be, like the magnifying glass, which will look into processes with tremendous detail, right? So I think those were a couple of 2 cents from my side. So the we can go on and on about process mining and DTO, but I think we'll continue in that in the next video. So I think that was it from my side. Sophia, you have any parting comments?
Yes, Apurva. As you have rightly mentioned that the amalgamation of the technology or the unification of the technology is is helping companies or industries in digital transformation. So, like you have mentioned that already the vendors are offering these technology into a unified way. So, I would just like to mention some of the vendors that we have talked to who is offering process mining as well as DTO for their end users. Uh, and these platforms are industry agnostic. Even though it has been evolved from manufacturing, from engineering background, but for current scenario, for current businesses, it has been industry agnostic. So I would just like to mention about few vendors such as IBM, who is offering process mining from mine venue platform, and also the DTO, because the base of their DTO creation is process mining only. They analyze processes, they mine the process, they understand the process deviation, they understand as this process and what if process, so that they can create a DTO, and they can create what if scenarios, what changes in a process can be made so that it is a positive impact on the entire business operations. The another example of vendor is SAP SignaView, who is already offering process mining and DTO into their platform. iGraphics, who is also a major vendor into these platforms. So yeah, I just wanted to mention about few of these vendors and their use cases that they are offering to their end users. And yes, that was it from my side, Apurva.
Great. So I think that is it from the both of us, and we are very excited about this topic. There will be more videos coming out on similar topic and other domains and other studies from our domains